Well, how are you doing in this ever more infested playground in which we now have to disguise our appearance?
I am scraping by, to tell you the truth. But I am keeping optimistic against the insidious tide of the recruitmentalist contagion.
I am also swimming against the hideous tide of this unwritten conspiracy.
So anyway, I feel you have a burning question.
I do, because I have been wondering about the nature of fraud. What exactly is it?
It is interesting and has a specific definition. I say it is interesting because many people refer to it and perceive its occurrence, but few know of its application.
So then what is the point at which it applies?
Let me first state its specific definition, that is, wrongful or criminal deception intended to result in financial or personal gain.
I see. So that is why you said it applied at a specific time in the recruitmental operation, the period when the potential employee has gained employment but prior to the first wage packet.
That is so because both the recruitmentalist and the employer have financial gain, but the employee does not.
I can see we could get complicated here, because the potential employee has taken a contract with the recruitmentalist to find employment rather than to find a remuneration. A balance of financial gain cannot be determined.
Indeed, and I guess also because the employer does not come into the contract between the potential employee and the recruitmentalist, they cannot be implicated.
So that is the cahoots. I am still confused about how all of this works. Whom is the employee employed by? Because I have heard the business for whom the employee works claims it is the recruitmentalist, and the recruitmentalist claims it is the business. It cannot be neither, it must be one of them.
Yes, I believe that too. So the contract to find employment is taken with the recruitmentalist, and the contract to work must therefore be with the business. But it is bizarre as no one claims to know, especially in temporary contract work.
Right? So then the financial remuneration is decided between the business and the employee, and this cannot be used because the business has not signed the contract between the potential employee and the recruitmentalist.
I think we're close now. The separation between the contracts causes the loophole. There is fraud because both the business and recruitmentalist gain and the employee does not, but the contracts signed do not cover the same event. One is for finding employment and the other is for financial remuneration and work/holiday duration. And so, you cannot pursue anyone through a contract. But it is grey in this area too, because the recruitmentalist sometimes pays the employee, in which case you will be called an agency worker and you are only temporarily employed by a company. The company pays the agency and the agency pays you. This means that temps now have more rights than permanent staff.
Does that mean the recruitmentalists are not the same as employment agencies, and you should fix a time limit for the mentalist to find you work, and if they fail you should sue them?
That sounds beautiful. I am sure that the recruitmentalists should be sued because they cause you not to find work by their methods. That is, they do not hold up their side of the contract.
And so, dear viewers, that is why we are continually calling them a contagion, because they are parasitic in their behavior and serve only to keep themselves and their host, the employer, alive. They do not in fact serve you, the potential employee, because they do not help to improve your chances of getting employment. They just spew out sick emails full of dubious employment opportunities whilst they cream off between 12 and 60% in fees for themselves. At one time the employer would publish vacancies. Now the recruitmentalists hide the link between employer and vacancy, forcing you to enter into a contract with them in order to find employment. Yes, by creating a username and password to access their sites you are contracting them to help you find employment.